All right. If you got strings, they're going to break over time. So all our strings are on here, so I'm going to just cut one off, the third string, which is usually the one you're going to be changing anyway. We're just going to cut that off and then kind of remove the windings at the key head and then take the string off. We'll be sweeping up, so later when we're finished videoing in here. Down at this end, make sure that the string comes out with the ball. Ball's jammed in the mechanism or another cause of problems keeping the thing in tune. Get you a nice new 11. This is an Ernie ball. It could be SIT, GHS, doesn't matter. And this is the ball end we talked about. So you want to take this ball and you're going to put it in the changer end. Alright, so we've cleared away the old part of the string that was here on the tuning key. And now we're going to take the ball end and we're going to look. This one's wrapped, but as you can notice back here, they're not. And if you can see, like right here, there's a little piece that sticks up from the winding. So when you put your ball in to what we call the crow's foot here, you see like that, it just pops right in. Just put it down and it'll lock right in. You want to make sure that the winding sticks out. So run this over the center of this finger on the third string. Now notice that these fingers are wider than this finger. See, I have skinnies and I got fats on this guitar. With a fat finger, you don't want to run the string over the center of the finger. You want to line the string up with the slot so it pulls straight. You put it over here, it'll start scraping across the top and you get a funny sound. So you want to line it up like this. It'll keep the string spacing even. It'll keep the string spacing even across. So we've hooked this into our crow's foot, and now what we're going to do is we're going to hold it with this hand. We're going to come all the way up here to the key head, both hands. Now, I'm going to want to put it on this third peg for the third string. So, with all strings, you want to come two posts. In back of the post, you're going to wind it on to here. Every string on this guitar, with the one exception of the third string. So on the third string, and this technique can be used to measure posts that are beyond number 3 here. Post number 4, 5, measure the same way. You want to bring this, again, this is where you want it, this is where you're going to wind it, so you want to come 2 posts beyond that. Then you want to pull that back to here and grab it 2 posts again. So we have double the length on the third string. And at that point, just cut it like that. Alright. So the string's now cut to length. What you want to do is stick it through the hole. You may have to adjust it. And without bending it, stick it through the hole. Just turn it so that that hole starts to turn down. And when it gets just past parallel, so it's sticking up like that, make sure that there's no more than a small amount of end like that sticking out. If it sticks out longer, you're going to scratch the laminate into the key head. So when you do that, kind of gently pull back, put your finger on the back here and put a sharp bend in it. Just press it down against it so you have a nice sharp bend like that. Hold the string up as you're putting it on. Hold the string up with your right hand. Put a small amount of tension on, not a lot. You'll pull it out at the other end. And use the string winder that came in your kit. Put your string winder on and start to wind. And what you want to do on this guitar especially, you want to get the strings pulling as straight as possible. So on this guitar, you want to come on the inside being towards the key head, the tuning machine head, and when that little piece sticking up goes through, cross over to the other side of it, like that. And what that will do is basically the string sticking in here, what that will do is the string will clamp that so that won't be able to pull through the hole, and it'll stay pretty steady. So that little crossover technique is the only time you really want to cross over, especially the third string. And now on the third string you want to put as many winds as possible. That's why we did that, because you want to get away from that hole. You want to get away from that hole. That hole has little edges on it, flakes from plating, little sharp edges, and it will break that string. Because when you raise and lower the string on a guitar, not only is this section up here being stretched, but this section here is also moving. If you put your finger on it, you can just feel it. Not a lot, but you can feel a little bit of movement through here. So that thing would be like sawing it across the little sharp edges that are in these holes from the plating. So you want to get that third string, which is pretty thin, you want to get it away from the hole. Now, to line it up, you notice that this is straight. These are not, by the way, and these are not as straight as they could be on this guitar. And these strings really should be wound 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I'm sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 should really be wound from the hole in towards the center, from the hole this way. These two strings out here should be ideally wound from the hole out towards the machine head itself. And that'll keep these strings lined up straight. Straight strings lined up straight will stay in tune better than strings that are like this that are out to the side. So anyway, so we'll get this up to tune. That's pretty good. Now, I'm going to kind of loosen it here for a minute. I'm going to stretch it a little. I'm not going to pull real hard, but I'm going to just give it a little bit of stretch. I definitely do this with the wound strings. You see it stretching out? Okay, so that's what there is to changing string. It's not complicated, but use the post back here as a measuring device. It's on there anyway. You might as well. Remember that we need extra winds on the third string. You don't need them on the other string. It's a waste of time. In fact, you may find that this string, the 10th string down here on your bottom neck, it's maybe only 1.5 posts because it's big, thick, 68, 70 gauge string. So get your string, hook it in down here with the changer, lining up with the slot, not the center of the finger, and put it through the hole, make a sharp bend, wind it up. Remember to cross over just on the first time so that you lock that string thing in where it can't move, and then wind them up. On the third string, bring it back to here, drag the string back to here, and then cut it at this point. That'll give you approximately 4 inches as opposed to the normal 2. There's no point in putting the strings through and locking it and wrapping it around and tying it like that. I've seen guitar players that do that. The problem with that is it works fine. It works. But the problem is when you have to undo it, then you've got a major problem. So you really don't want that. So that's all there is to changing with some regularity. It would be a good thing. All right. Thank you.